is up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? I am bringing you my, I think, first ever YouTube fitness exercise tutorial video. I've been doing these on Instagram a lot lately, but wanted to bring it over to YouTube for all your YouTubers and just basically start with the basics. I think in the fitness industry, a lot of times we forget that there's a lot of people out there. We've been around it for so much, weightlifting and fitness and exercising. There's a lot of people out there that are starting at square one with no experience, have no idea what to do at the gym or with whatever equipment they have, or maybe they don't have equipment. So I'm gonna be going over stuff in the coming months, stuff you can do at home with no equipment, as well as things you can do at the gym or if you have a home gym or some basic equipment. So it doesn't really get any more basic than the bench press. That's what I'm gonna be showing you guys today. This is a flat bench right now. It's actually adjustable. Right now it's set at flat. So it's parallel with the floor. And I'm using clearly a barbell as opposed to dumbbells in each hand. The bench press, flat bench press, is used to develop and build your entire chest. The more you bring this bench upward in an inclined position, the more it's gonna activate your upper chest and the more it's gonna activate your shoulders. Any form of bench press is gonna work some part of your chest, some part of your tricep, and some part of your shoulders. Again, the higher the incline of the bench, the more the shoulders are gonna get activated and the more it's gonna target that upper chest. So for today, we're just doing flat bench, and it's really gonna hit the chest, whole chest, and triceps, and a little bit of the shoulders. First thing I guess that I wanna talk about is hand placement, grip, and posture when doing this. So just hopefully I can stay in frame here. Just for starters, every bench just about, or every barbell, excuse me, will have some sort of not threading, but kind of like grip here. And almost every single bar I've ever seen has like little breaks in the grip. So like this is a smooth part of the bar. There's a smooth little stripe right here, like a centimeter in diameter. And it's the same on the other side. And that's to help you find the exact same hand placement on one side as the other. A lot of people, I see it all the time, especially with beginners, and honestly people that have been lifting for a while, they don't pay much attention to this, and it's very, very important. I'll tell you why in a minute. So find whatever's comfortable for you. I like starting with one finger on these little stripes here. Starting with one finger, then wrapping my entire hand around the bar. I'm bigger than most people, or taller and longer than most people, so my grip is gonna be wider. I would say, if you can see here, compare my grip to where my shoulders are and try to mimic that at whatever size or height and length that you are. But what I wanted to touch on is why it's so important to make sure you're grabbing the bar in the same position or location on the left as the right. A lot of people just go here, grab the bar, whatever feels good, and start pressing upwards. I don't know if you guys could tell from there, but I've got a significant amount more of weight on my left side right here, on the left, because I'm grabbing much closer to the center on this left hand than the right. So I can press and it might feel okay, but I'm actually putting more resistance on this left side of my chest, this left pec, and doing that over time is going to lead to muscular imbalances. So a bigger left side than a right side, or if you're doing it the other way around, a bigger right than left side. So make certain you're grabbing the bar with all exercises on the same location on both sides. Next thing with grip, there's two ways to grab the bar. As a starter, a beginner, I would 100% recommend grabbing the bar with your thumbs underneath it. This is just in case when you're pressing, maybe your wrists kind of lean forward a little bit. If the thumbs weren't there, that bar is going straight into my chest, and that will not feel good at all. That has happened to me before. The other potential grip you can use, I believe it's called a death grip, so obviously by the name, it doesn't sound like a great idea. But I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I use this grip, it's just more comfortable for me. And I haven't dropped the weight in years, knock on wood. But so instead of grabbing with thumbs underneath, it's gonna be thumbs right next to your index finger knuckle. and you would press like this, okay? Now again, the danger here is if your wrists rotate forward, weight's going straight in your chest. That doesn't even feel good dropping it from a ½ an inch above my chest, and I don't even have that much weight stacked on here. So as a beginner, for sure, start with those thumbs underneath the bar. Next thing, the points of contact of your body to the bench and floor, gonna be your upper back and part of your shoulders, your butt, and your feet planted firmly on the floor. There will be a small arch in your lower back. Make sure it's not a crazy arch like this, like powerlifters may do that, and that's necessary to get as much weight up as possible. But as long as you're not a powerlifter, just put a comfortable small arch in your back. It shouldn't be touching the bench, but it shouldn't look crazy. So just keep that in mind. Another thing with your posture, it's a tendency of a lot of people, mine included, people that have been lifting for a long time and beginners. Once you progress in your set, it gets a little more difficult. These feet are gonna wanna kind of come up. Keep your feet planted firmly on the floor. Picking your feet up can get your spine twisted and kinked or whatever, and it can lead to an injury. Just make sure your feet are planted on the floor. Do this with a spotter. Always do this with a spotter. I'm gonna break my own rule here. I got no one here to spot me, but I'm not gonna go that heavy. And then last thing with posture, another tendency of people, still to this day, this is a tendency of mine. Again, usually these things start happening when you get later on in your set, it starts getting harder, and you start kind of compensating and finding ways of almost cheating and breaking your form in order to get the reps that you're going for. But don't do that. If you can't get the reps the right way, don't go for it. Lower the weight. So the last thing is, I'll keep my legs kind of spread here so you guys can, I don't know the angle of the camera. But last tendency is for people's posture, once it gets later on in the set, to start picking their head up like this. Keep your head down. Keep your head down like this. If you want to look down, that's fine, but keep your head planted on the bench. Looking down again, fine, just don't be doing this. And that's going to be a tendency of just about anyone and everyone. If you're going super heavy and with low reps, or if you're going higher reps as you get later on in your set, you're going to want to pick up that head, you're going to want to pick up your feet. Don't. If you're doing that, either lower the weight or lower the reps. Do them the right way. Let's see, what else did I want to talk to you guys about? Sets and reps. There's two different, not schools of thought, but two different methods or approaches of your sets and reps. If you're going for power, if you're going for strength and pure power, you want to stick sets. It's kind of would go both ways, whether you're going for power or whether you're going for size and gaining muscle and losing body fat. Sets will be the same. I always say 3 to 6 sets. Sometimes I'll even do more than that, but it's all depending on how much time you have to work out and what else you have planned in your workout. So 3 to 6 sets regardless of your goal. Reps though, that's where it's really going to change depending on your goals. If you're looking to build muscle, build volume, build mass, I would say anywhere from 8 to 15 reps is a pretty safe zone. You can even get up to 20 reps. Any higher than that, you're going to be working more on muscular endurance rather than building volume and size and mass. A good example of that is a cross-country runner versus a sprinter. A sprinter is very explosive, lower repetitions, versus the cross-country runner. What is he doing for however many miles? Running. Tons of reps on your legs, but how does a cross-country runner look compared to a sprinter? The sprinter's a lot more muscular, like I said, a lot more explosive, and that's because it's a much higher resistance than the cross-country trainer. So keep reps, again, 8 to 15, maybe 20, higher than that. You're working more on endurance, you're not gonna build any mass. And also, another example of when you're building strength. Now keep in mind, when you're going lower reps, like I was mentioning, for strength training and power, I would say anywhere from, depending on what you want to do, you can go anywhere from 1 rep to probably a max of 8. That's going to focus more on power, maybe even 6. But a good example of this as to why, of course, you're going to build some muscle mass, probably a good amount, when you're doing strength and power training, but not as much as if you were lifting like a bodybuilder would lift, in that 8 to 15 to even 20 range. And the example is, look at a power lifter or a strongman. They're huge, of course, absolutely they're huge, but you know, they're gonna be taller than bodybuilders on average. But the muscle mass and volume of a bodybuilder is much greater than that of a standard strongman or power lifter. And that's because of that rep range. 8 to 15 to 20 to build size and burn fat most efficiently. Higher reps than that will give you endurance. Lower reps than that will give you that power and strength. So it really just kind of depends on your goals. That was a major fail on my first ever video. Ran out of iPhone storage, but we're good. I deleted some stuff, gonna finish this up. Last thing I just realized I missed on your posture and your grip and everything is that you can do everything right. You can have your feet planted firmly on the floor, your head planted firmly on the bench. You can grab the bar in the exact same location on each side. You can have that small arch in your back. You can do everything right, but there's one more thing that you can do that can really lead to muscular imbalances, which I'm huge on that if you can't tell already. This is what I used to do when I first got into lifting, and I created a habit, and it, true story, created a muscular imbalance in my chest. It's not severe, it's minor to moderate, but my left side is bigger than my right side, and it's because of this. I was doing everything right, but watch the angle of my elbows. My left elbow had a different angle than my right. I'm probably exaggerating right now, but I was pressing something like this. That's just what was more comfortable to me at the time. And I didn't even realize it till years down the road when I actually noticed that my chest was developing differently on each side. And I took some video of myself and I did not even realize that I was doing it. Even when I thought to myself, like, okay, what are you doing different here? You know, and I'd start pressing, I'd do the workout, and it would feel and look from my own eyes like everything was exactly the same. It took me recording myself to realize, like, holy crap, I'm doing it way different on my left and on my right when it comes to the angle or the position of my elbow on each side. So that's the bench press, guys. I'm probably gonna end it right there. Again, for your chest, your entire chest, your triceps, and partially your shoulders. Stay tuned, I'll have another workout video for you guys soon. As always, have a good one, and take care, guys.